Hey guys, Brad with Stoik here. Today we're going to do a complete overview of all the products. That is going to include the wrist straps, the slings, as well as the QRPs. So when you guys get your new sling or wrist strap, you guys are going to be able to get out there, adjust it to your specifications, and start shooting. So let's get into it. All right, so let's start off with the quick release pucks, or the QRPs. So all of them are a 330 paracord with a cast acrylic sheet cut with a laser cutter and engraved with our logo. So they're going to be one solid piece, so they're going to be incredibly strong. And then the paracord can handle within 330 pounds. So to go ahead and install this, basically, if you are not able to thread it through your camera's wrist or sling mount, if you have a cage, it's by far going to be the easiest. But so far what I found is whether it's a film camera or Sony, they really like to have really small adapters. You can leave the triangle piece, but if you want to take that off, I'll show you how to install it through because it will not fit. You can try to push it, but it's going to take you a minute. So I've got a trick to attach your QRPs to these sling attachments really easily. You can finally bust out that sewing kit that you have forever ago and just take a piece of thread, and what you're going to do is take one end and put it through or feed it through your sling mount. Also loop it through your paracord or the QRP, and then take that end and push it back through that sling mount, and then grab it all, and then you can simply just pull it through. Go ahead and discard that thread, and now you're gonna take that puck, loop it back through that paracord, pull it tight, and that is attached, and that is not going anywhere. The other really cool thing about these QRPs is you can adjust them to whatever length you want. So they come at 3 inches, but if you want to suck it in a little bit tighter, you're more than welcome to. I wouldn't do this until later on, after you've gotten your sling set up and everything and you've gotten comfortable, and then make these adjustments. Then you'll know why later on, but I'm just going to show you how to do it now. It's super simple. Basically, all you'll do is take that puck, slide it down closer to your camera, and then simply just make another knot within the paracord. And then what you're gonna do, I would say leave still about 1 inch long of paracord or so, like from the inside the knot to your camera, so that puck can still move freely. You'll see why that's important here in a second. And then simply just cut off that excess, burn the paracord so it doesn't fray on you, and then you're good to go. So now you've got a smaller, more compact mounting system, where this side is still that full length. The cool thing about these two, they come in 3 colors. We've got black, red, and yellow. So you can match it to your camera or your strap, or just have fun with it. All right, so now to actually attach your wrist strap or your sling onto your QRPs, essentially what you're gonna do, it's super simple. You just separate that puck and that knot just a little bit. You're gonna take the D-ring and slide it over the knot, and then slide it over the puck separately. Once you've got it past both, you just pull tight, and that is not going anywhere. Another really cool security feature is even if the puck did get canted or twisted, the size of the knot and the puck will not allow it to come out. So it's stuck in there, basically. So now to remove your sling, it's the same process. Just separate that puck and that knot. Now you're gonna slide the puck through the D-ring first, and then the knot, and now you're good to go. And your QRPs are just free to stay on your camera. All right, so if you did want to shorten your QRP, right now is a good time to test to make sure that everything still works the way it's supposed to. So before you cut and burn those ends, go ahead, you can just test it now. So go ahead and slide that D-ring over the knot, through the puck or around the puck, make sure everything's still good and tight, and then make sure that you are still able to separate that puck from the knot enough to be able to get your D-ring off your QRPs. And if that's the case, then you can go ahead and cut and singe those ends, or if you just want to leave it that full length, it's awesome. So now talking about the wrist straps, every wrist strap does come with 1 QRP. If you need additional, more are available on the website, say if you have multiple camera bodies. To put this on, it's super simple. You just slide your wrist through the wrist portion of it, pull tight, and the harder that you pull, the tighter it gets onto your wrist. So you're not worried about if it ever does accidentally come off. Basically, that is going to tighten onto your wrist, so you're never worried about your camera falling down a cliff or waterfall or anything like that. There is plenty of length on it, so if you do need to shoot vertical or horizontal, vice versa, you're able to make that change very quickly. You still have tons of adjustability. It's about, with the QRP at full length, you've got about 10 inches of movement there. Now to loosen it, basically all you do is you take your finger, put it in between the wrist strap and your wrist, and then just pull down and kind of twist it a little bit, and that will open up that wrist strap. Pull your hand out, and this opening is super wide. It's about 6 inches wide, so if you're wearing gloves or anything like that, or just have big paws, your hand will be able to fit in there no problem, and come out no problem. All right, let's jump into the slings now. And one of the coolest parts of this sling is that quick adjustment and the pull tab to be able to make those quick adjustments. It is made out of 500D Cordura, extremely high abrasion resistant material. The other cool thing about Cordura is if it ever does get wet, whether you're sweating, it's raining or anything like that, right? It actually gets more grippy. So as you're trying to make that adjustment on your camera sling, your hand's not gonna be slipping off of that. Even if you're wearing gloves or anything like that, it's gonna give you a very good feel and grip to be able to make that adjustment in any conditions, right? So basically, to manipulate this sling, once you get it all set up, we'll talk about how to setment and fitment here in a second. But basically, to adjust that sling, all you do is you take that pull tab and pull it away from the camera. It kind of helps if you manipulate the camera at the same time. So basically, we'll do that again. So you'll pull the camera and the pull tab away from each other, and that'll give you a very quick adjustment that you need, right? So now when you're ready to stow your camera, essentially you do the exact opposite of what we did before. Now you're gonna bring the pull tab and the camera back to each other, right? But now when you're doing the pull tab, it's kind of an out and away back into the camera itself, right? So you're still kind of pulling it back together, but it's more of an out and away into the camera. So it's kind of more of a sweeping motion. So as you're adjusting your camera slings, you'll want to adjust both sides. For every 1 inch or 2 inches that you take off of the non-pull tab side, you'll want to take 1 inch off of that pull tab slide as well, just to be able to keep the pull tab working as efficiently as possible. So now to adjust the tri-glide, the easiest way I found to be able to do it is off of your slack here that you want to take out, go ahead and push that through the top of the tri-glide. You're gonna make a pretty decent sized loop. And you're probably gonna have to do this a couple times. Pull that access down through the tri-glide, so now you'll have a bigger loop at the end of the tri-glide. Flip it over with that little extra tail dale, just pull that tight. You'll still wanna leave a little bit of excess, maybe an inch, half an inch or so between the tri-glide and that D-ring. And then, yeah, just go ahead and test fit it on your camera and go back and forth until you're just happy with how it feels, right? With these slings, they're fully customizable and adjustable to fit you and your style of shooting. Like I said before, you want to do both ends. So if you take about 2 inches off this end, you'll want to take at least 1 inch off of the adjustment pull tab side as well. When you're done adjusting, don't cut all of this off right away. I would say maybe leave 2 to 3 inches. Cut and sear that or burn it so it doesn't fray. And then what you can do is you can fold it and then gaff tape it, just so you have that access. All right, guys, so if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us on any of our social platforms or on our website, stoicgear.com, and we'll see you out there.